All right. Aquaman trailer.
Yes, Aquaman trailer. It's what we're talking about today.
NerdPoint show. Looks like an origin.
Yeah, it looks like they're going with some type of an origin for him. It's obviously going to be flashback style origin where they're going to talk about his parents, how they met, him growing up, training, becoming who he is today.
One of my favorite scenes with the origins was when they come in, the two bullies kind of come in, and they push him against the...
As he's a child.
Yeah.
Little kid.
Little
guy.
The first scene, or one of the first scenes.
Make fun of him. He's talking to fish,
Did you notice how he said Arthur? The bully?
Yeah, because you showed me.
Yeah. They don't know. But he said Arthur a little weird.
He said it in an accent. Might take place in, like you said, maybe New Zealand.
I think that's what...
Or at least where he grew up.
Yeah,
possibly.
I don't think it's Hawaii or anything like that.
That'd be cool, but probably not. Probably New Zealand. I forget where it is technically in the comics.
It has to be an island because his dad's in the lighthouse.
He's a fisherman, lighthouse.
And they do that origin story really good justice in the trailer where Queen Atlanta washes up to the shore
Yeah.
with her Quinnet next to her. And I'm guessing Aquaman's dad saves her.
Yeah, I mean, takes her in, takes care of her. She probably explains her story and all that. And I really like that. Not only is it an origin of like him growing up, but it's also going to be the present will be the origin of him becoming the king, which I think is really important. I think it's pretty cool.
I love the moment when she tells him that like you'll be the thing that brings both worlds together.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like, that's always a dream. I mean, that was honestly kind of a segment in Black Panther at one point. I see a lot of parallels to that movie in a way, in reverse order, but
a little bit.
Not the point. I think the cool thing is seeing him kind of grow up and like learn about what he can do.
So let's talk about the scene when he controls all the fish in the aquarium after he gets...
Okay, sure.
Like, what'd you think about that?
I mean, it made sense. I thought the CGI looked a little rough, but of course, I'm that guy that talks about things like that.
I thought it was a little corny.
You thought that was corny?
A little bit.
There's something at the end James is going to talk about, and I swear he thinks this is corny. I'll fight him. But, like, he thinks this is corny, but he loves this last part. And we'll get into it, but sure. It's a little corny, but it also gives an extent of, like, he's learning about his powers. I think it's important.
I thought that was really cool.
I think it's an important corny thing, unlike some unimportant corny things that we'll talk about. Fucking get out of here with that. Quit laughing.
I can't.
So let's talk about where it picks up after Justice League.
It is after Justice League.
Yeah,
right?
It's going to be after Justice League. It picks up with, I believe, Merrick. I mean, I'm not sure how they play this in with the flashbacks. I don't know if they do the flashbacks first, if they play it in piece by piece like they did in some. They've done it in some superhero movies. I think. But Mara comes looking for him because Orm's a dickhead, pretty much. His brother.
Do you think Orm's promised Mara and she doesn't want to go?
I mean, I don't...
To unite, like, kingdoms?
No.
I could see that being something.
No.
Where she doesn't want to marry Orm, and so she seeks out Arthur to, like she knows the plan and she's going behind his back.
I think, like... Honestly, no. I see that being too dense of a story. I think there's a lot to worry about other than that. I don't think she's promised to him or anything. If she is, I don't think it changes the story too much. The main point is Orm is trying to start a war with the land.
Yep.
The land people.
The lands.
The humans, not the Atlanteans. Atlanteans go to war with humans. And I find it really interesting. I think that Arthur being of both kind of makes him the perfect candidate to... make that not happen.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, I think. Like, obviously, it's why she comes looking for him. She says, you need to take your right as the heir to the throne to stop this from happening, etc., etc. And he goes to Atlantis.
Which, Atlantis looks...
It's visually stunning. I think it's a little overwhelming at points, but also the way the trailer was set up, it was underwhelming. So like, I think the world is overwhelming for an underwhelming situation. Not like the situation's underwhelming, but they present it in a really I don't know, almost like, yeah, fuck it, deal with this world. Like, I wish they'd go in depth a little more with that, but maybe they will in the movie. I just know that it's a crazy fun world, and it's kind of fun to see something like that underwater. A lot of the movie's going to take place underwater, which is going to be interesting to see how they do it.
I got a lot of vibes from Phantom Menace.
Sure, yeah.
Like, when they go to the Gundams, or whatever they're...
Yeah, sure.
Jar Jar's people.
Yeah, and I saw it a lot like Wakanda from Black Panther, and I think that's because it's in a really advanced world, but it's also barbaric. Like, they don't use guns, they do gladiator matches, which, in a way, like Black Panther, they have this technology, but they also don't really use guns or anything. They're classic. They're like, fight with your fist, fight with your swords. I think that's really interesting, and it's, like I said, I see a lot of parallels in the movie, and I just hope they don't go the same, like, exact route in terms of, like, we talked briefly about it. I don't want them to go the same route in terms of he challenges Orm, he loses the first time, he comes back and wins again the second time. I don't want them to take that route. I want them to, if they do it, I want it to be brief, kind of like, I want it to be more trickery. I don't want it to be straight up battles is how he wins in the middle. I just want it, I want it done right. I don't want Black Panther copied.
So you think that the wars
move the computer so I can see it.
That
cool
are getting, like, at the end so you think in the trailer when they're doing the gladiator match, doing the war at the end,
sure,
that's all the third act?
I don't know. I just hope that it's not set up exactly like Black Panther. So I'm hoping it's I'm hoping the first fight with Orm, if there's a first fight with Orm, and because here's how it could stem. It could be the fight with Orm starts, and then they lead that into the war. It could start like that. It could be trickery. Orm starts the war while they're fighting. That'd be interesting. I think that'd be a fun plot twist. But I'm just hoping it's, like I said, I don't know where it's going to take place. I just hope it doesn't take place exactly like Black Panther.
I think they're going to... Okay, so I think it's going to take similar, like, acts as Black Panther.
Sure.
But I think what's going to happen and why Orm wins the first time is going to be a lot different.
If they only fight once.
If
they fight more than once.
If they do the gladiator match in the middle of the movie.
Sure.
Orm's going to win by trickery.
Okay.
And then it's not going to be a fair fight, and somehow Aquaman gets away. Arthur.
Okay.
And then Arthur and Mera go off on their adventure to go find the trident.
Yeah, so the trident's going to be the big thing. That's
the MacGuffin.
Yeah, yes.
But I think that's how that whole situation's going to go with that, like, gladiator match.
Sure. When
it all gets down to it. Yep. And, like, I don't know. Just what I'm thinking. But Black Manta, right?
Yeah, so Black Manta is in the movie as well. He's going to act as kind of a secondary villain. He's going to be working with Orm or under him in a way. Like, he's basically going to... I compared it to he's the Deathstroke for Batman. I mean, so...
And that blew my mind. Like, I never even thought of Black Manta like that. Like,
I mean, in a way, he's a mercenary. I mean, he'll do it for money. He'll do it for revenge. But I know for a fact that it's going to be very much so, like, they're not really going to have any... I don't know for sure, I'm sorry. I don't think that they're going to have any jumping off ground other than Orm's like, hey, could you do this? Like, unless there's some type of other motive, like he screwed him over in some way, shape, or form. He screwed up something for him. But I just know that he's going to be kind of like he's going to be something in the way while Arthur's trying to do something. Maybe while they're trying to go get the trident, he's tracking them down. He's not going to be directly attached with Orm, I think.
So the submarine,
sure,
that Aquaman breaks in the trailer that he breaks into, and he's like, can I come aboard?
Permission to come aboard, yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think he's on that?
Is that Black Manta's sub? I think it is.
It could be. I don't know how. I don't have an idea of anything else it could be, so that's the only idea I have. He has such a light tone with that joke he made in it, but also he's always made jokes, like even in Justice League, he made light jokes at heavy tones, at heavy moments in the movie. So
because he knows he's so strong.
Sure, I think it's just his personality. I don't think it's a confidence thing necessarily. I just know that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I think, yeah, I guess that's the only option I see. I honestly thought at first maybe it was just a fun little segment of him, like, breaking on board of a submarine and kind of, like, just a fun little thing at the beginning, not really any conflict happening at the moment. But I guess I could see it more that way now.
I also read something online that during that interaction, he kills his dad. He
kills
Black Mana's dad.
Okay, so that could be the driving action for him, sure.
So that's what everybody's kind of thinking online right now, and what drives Black Mana to hate Arthur so much.
Yeah,
he killed his dad.
That could
and
be.
And then
yeah.
he teams up with Orm, and goes from there.
I could see that. Yeah.
And then I bet you Orm doesn't even like being on land.
No.
So
that's where Black Panther comes in.
Yeah.
He can be the land creature form.
Because it's obviously like the genre at some point is an adventure movie, right?
I would say it's a quest movie in a way. I would say adventure quest. That's the only way I could describe it based on how the trailer describes it, based on how the trailer presents everything. It looks like a quest movie, kind of an adventure.
Indiana Jones type of thing. I know you hate me referencing it that way, but
I mean, it's what it is. If it's similar in style, I don't see the parallels necessarily, other than it's a quest. I mean, there's tons of quest movies.
National Treasure.
Sure, you picked the two I didn't like you referencing.
I know, I did that on purpose.
I know.
It's a fun one.
It's sure. I see it as more of a quest movie, and I think it's shown, especially in a lot of the color corrections that's done on the film itself. You can see that it's like a lot of brighter tones, even in the darker scenes. You just see really bright tones, and it just flashes at you, and I think that really shows the fantasy of it all. How it did that in Lord of the Rings, for example. There's fantasy to it, and I like that.
Because it shouldn't be dark and gritty.
I mean, I honestly think that Aquaman is a character that should be a little darker and a little grittier. He doesn't... And I think his humor should be more dry, personally. Based on what I've read in the comics, and I haven't read too many Aquaman comics, but I've read enough to understand that I think he's a serious guy. And I don't like them... I feel like it's definitely getting turned into,
Wait.
I feel like it's getting turned into a Marvel movie in a way, but I also know that Jeff Johns wrote the story with James Wan. So...
Jeff Johns recreated Aquaman.
He recreated a lot of characters. I mean...
Justice League. Jeff Johns.
Yeah. I mean, he recreated a lot of things. He rewrote a lot of things. I don't think he ever... I just don't like the idea of it being more like a Marvel movie in terms of jokes, because I think a lot of the jokes are funny. I like them. I like his humor. I just think some of them are unnecessary, or an overuse of it can be unnecessary. Like in Justice League, a lot of his jokes were Joss Whedon things, and I thought they were awful and cringy as all hell. I think they could take a more serious tone, and I know it's going to be a serious movie, and it'll be light too. I just want it to be a good balance, not forced.
So you got to my last question already.
I mean, it's a good transition of the last question.
But
so
you answered it for me. What I was going to ask, what you think about the bro Aquaman, and you don't like it very much.
The what?
The bro Aquaman.
I mean,
like he's surfer dude.
I wouldn't describe him like that, but go ahead and explain it, because I want you to explain this joke and how you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so, let's just go with the last joke into the trailer.
End of the trailer.
The last thing Aquaman says.
No, explain it. Explain what happens.
Mara jumps out of the plane, says, "We're here."
Yep.
And the pilot goes, no, you don't have a parachute, or something like that.
He says, she just jumped out without a parachute.
Okay. And Arthur looks at him and goes, well... You gotta love redheads.
Yeah, redheads. You gotta love them.
Oh,
It's funny, but like...
I just love it because he's right.
No, it's not that... Okay, you don't listen.
He's right.
We discussed this earlier. It's not that he's wrong. Like, I love redheads as much as the next guy. I get it. That's funny. But I felt like that was such a forced and unnecessary joke that was like... It didn't even have, like, a setup. It was just, like, a funny thing he threw in there, and it felt like a Joss Whedon thing to me.
It's just something that everybody knows.
Okay, but that's not the point. Let's get into the point that it makes. We understand the joke, James. Talk about something other than the point of the joke.
Okay. It makes it a little corny.
It makes it a really corny. And you thought the shark thing at the beginning was corny? That actually had plot to do with the movie. This had no plot. It was just her jumping out of a window or out of the
door.
The fucking door. And he just made a stupid joke, which, yes, it's funny. I just think that's why I get worried about the genre being less serious and more, like, driven towards Marvel. Like, it feels like that.
And that's my question. Do you like the surfer bro Aquaman that they're portraying?
I like it. Oh, that was your last question? I didn't understand that was your last question.
No, I rephrased it better.
Okay.
So do you like the surfer bro, like, Hawaiian?
Yeah. Like yes and no. I think he has his moments. I like when he's more serious. I think he's funny, and I like when he's funny. But I like jokes that are planned out well. It's not that I didn't like the joke. I just think it was planned out really horribly. It was just like thrown in there because they could. Like that's just lazy writing. That's what it felt like.
I can.
That's just lazy writing.
That was easy.
Yeah,
everybody knows redheads are fun.
Yeah, and it's like, well, sure. That's not even where I was going with that. But like, it just felt like it was lazy and thrown in there just to throw in there. And I want the jokes to be planned out really well if they are going to be. Like in Avengers 1 when they were like flying monkeys, Steve Rogers was like, I understood that reference. Like that felt kind of clever, but this didn't feel like a clever joke. This felt like a joke you hear every other week.
And I'm with you on that.
So I want more original stuff. I want his humor I honestly want his humor to be a little more dry. That was pretty dry, I guess. But I want his humor to be a little more dry, because I have dry humor. So that's kind of biased. But I will say I like the look. I like the whole vibe we get from him as a character. I mean, like, Permission to Come Aboard, that was pretty dry. I think that was ironic dry. He's an Atlantean.
He already was aboard.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like little funny quips like that I liked. But I think that joke was dumb. But I do like the vibe I get from him. I just don't want the jokes to be forced, that's all. As long as the jokes aren't forced, I'm totally down with how they're portraying him. Jason Momoa is a great actor too. He wouldn't get behind something like that if he didn't think it would be worth it.
I think he was even a little upset how he was portrayed in Justice League.
Probably a little bit. I mean, I think everybody's a little disappointed. Even all the actors were a little disappointed with it.
Other than Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she actually... I don't think much changed for her.
She was great at it. That's the only character that didn't have a flaw.
Yeah. So my last question is...
Okay, let's see. Wait, real quick.
Okay.
I love the bro thing.
Okay, so you...
Yeah,
it.
I'm down for the surfer thing. Yeah. Like, I'm with it. Jason Momoa, I'm with you on that. Yeah. I just wanted to give my take. I asked you, now ask me.
Okay, so...
What's your last question?
Jason Momoa... Well, we also have to do our favorite moment after, but this is our last question for each other. Jason Momoa in the past, if you've ever seen him without long hair, without the beard, it's kind of freaky. Like, it's an iconic look. It adds to the surfer vibe.
You mean when he was on Baywatch?
No, I'm talking about when he was still pretty much the same age, but he had his hair short, he's shaved at times.
I've never seen that.
It's wild. Not when he's on Baywatch.
Everybody should look that up.
He looks a little freaky. Because he looks the same as, honestly, when he did in Game of Thrones.
A lot of people don't know he was on Baywatch either.
Yeah, he was an original Baywatch cast member. But here's where I'm going with this.
Go on.
I don't want to get you distracted, or you get me distracted. Come on, James. No, it's your fault. Don't worry. How would you feel let me finish by also saying how I feel. How would you feel if they did cut his hair or his beard or changed up the look of him a little bit to be, because he's going to get a more comic accurate, he's going to get a few suits.
I heard, the Hall H went crazy when they saw him in the orange and green.
Yeah, so, and more footage was shown at ComicCon than we saw in the official trailers, but I think it'd be really cool if they give him the comic accurate suit, if at some point they change up his look with his hair or his beard a little. Maybe keep the beard, cut his hair. I think that'd look kind of cool. Give him like that Thor Ragnarok look. I thought that'd be cool. It still gives him a rugged look, but I think the hair... the hair's cool, but like maybe shorter. Like how he looks as his like teenage to young adult self. That's a good length.
What about opposite? Trim the beard up, not shave it.
Well, I said either or. I said either or.
I like the thought of him having a really clean beard with long hair, like classic Aquaman that doesn't have a hand.
He had a goatee, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what you would do if they did it?
I just can't see him with short hair at this point. His hair... I
think it'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool, but...
You just can't see it?
It'd be taking a big old risk.
I don't think it would. I think that'd be... I mean, they do it all the time.
They'd have to pay him a lot of money to do it.
It was a big risk to even have him with the long hair and the beard. So, I mean, it'd be another risk to take, but it worked out the first time.
And then, if they do it, they have to pay him... I know they have to pay him a lot of money to cut that hair.
I don't know. I think he'd be down with it if the movie did really well. I think he'd be down with it. I think he'd be like, screw it. I'll do it.
So, like in a sequel?
Sure. I mean, eventually. I don't mean in the movie. I
thought you meant at the end of the movie.
No, I don't think they're doing that because he still has long hair as of now. What I mean is like eventually down the line.
Yeah, I could see it.
Okay.
I'd love a short haircut.
Yeah.
With a beard.
That'd be cool. I think.
Like if this movie does really well. Oh, I bet you they could do it easily.
Cool.
So, what's your favorite moment, though?
Favorite moment is gotta be... I would say my favorite moment's gotta be part of the origin when he's growing up. Like, catching the trident, that was cool. That gave me Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, actually. Like, just them on an island, like, the long hair, like, stranded almost look. I don't know why, it just reminded me of that. Maybe it was the color correction on it, but...
I love the quest whole aspect. That's what pirates are.
Yeah, maybe that has some vibes to it that I'm picking up on. I just think that the whole origin story, I love an origin story, so like giving a little bit of that would be cool. I like that. That's my favorite.
And I mean, this is the first ever Aquaman movie origin, so you gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but they did.
I think it's a smart move.
I think it's a smart move, especially because they've already introduced the character.
I think my favorite moment is when Orm goes, he's challenging me, and then it cuts to him going, no, it's an ass. This is what I call an ass kicking.
Okay.
And actually, I don't think he gives Orm an ass kicking. And he gets his shit put in place.
Maybe.
And that's my theory on it. Like, after that, Orm whoops his fucking ass.
Okay. So your favorite segment is that part where like they're gonna start to fight.
Yeah,
that was a cool moment because seeing them interact in a way. We didn't get to see them interact until then.
And then it built me up really bad when he was like, "No, I call this an ass kicking."
Yeah, because he's a smart ass.
And it was just like, yeah,
that's an Aquaman line I would hear in the comics, and I liked that.
And because Aquaman spoke now after Jeff Johns got done with him, he's as strong as Superman.
In a way.
Like, in his own way.
He can hold his own because, I mean, his skin's tough. He's really strong. I mean, in Justice League, he was not by any means as strong as Superman. But, so I would say no. But in the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
In the comics, he comes close, I would say. I'd still say Superman beats his ass, but still.
And I think he's still learning about his powers. He hasn't accepted any of it. He doesn't live underwater.
Yeah, I mean, he's still learning, in a way. I mean, he's learning what he can do, what eventually he'll be able to do.
And I think it has a lot to do with him accepting it finally.
Sure.
And then, alright, my last question. Is he the king at the end?
Duh, yeah.
Duh, yeah.
I feel like that's a given. Like, it'd be a waste of a movie if they didn't, honestly.
I feel like it would make it hard to make a sequel.
Yeah.
Like, if he's the king, what else is there?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many stories you could tell.
I know,
but there's years and years. I think they just have to pick a good one.
It's almost like Thor actually getting the throne.
But he did.
Alright. But, alright, so sequel is definitely happening after this trailer, I think. Like,
I think so. I mean, I'm sure it'll get greenlit already.
Yeah. Excitement, like, gauging on other DC movies?
3.5, 4 out of 5. Like, terms, like, I want to go see it opening night, but, like, not as excited as I was when the Shazam trailer released.
Shazam, Thursday, 7 p.m.
Yeah, like,
no matter what.
Yeah.
We're off.
This, if I miss a day, I won't be upset exactly.
Sunday.
Like, No, that's too late. If I miss a day like that opening night,
Okay.
sure, okay, but like I could be okay with like missing the first night as long as I stay off the internet.
Let's gauge it this way: the DC movies that have been out, where do you think it falls?
So much for last questions.
I know.
Where do I think it falls? Where do I think it's gonna fall in terms of like how good the movie is with the others? I think it'll be definitely better than Justice League, equal to Wonder Woman, possibly. It could go either way. I think it could. I think it's gonna be equal to Wonder Woman, but I could see it going a little more either way. I don't think it'll be as good as Shazam though.
I think I'm with you 100%. How you describe that is how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the middle ground is Wonder Woman. It could be a little worse, a little better.
Yep.
But it's definitely there.
Yeah. I could see it ending that way.
Yeah.
Tell us what your guys' favorite moments from the trailer was. I know mine's definitely set in stone.
Mine's pretty set, but that redhead joke kind of got me.
Don't even.
But you guys subscribe, click that bell, follow us on Twitter at NerdPoint Show.
Yeah, me at R2 Dylan.
Me at mayhem_Ren. We'll catch you next time. More trailers. The Venom's coming out. See you next time.